Next, we will hear from the JD student speaker, Devanshi Patel-Martin. Devanshi is from San Jose, California. She received a BA in International Relations from Stanford University. During her time at Berkeley Law, while a student parent, she co-founded Mass Media at Berkeley Law, a student group devoted to journalism, media, and the law, and she served as a supervising editor of the California Law Review. After graduation, Devanshi will be clerking for Justice Sabrina McKenna of the Supreme Court of Hawaii. Please join me in welcoming Devanshi.
Thank you, Dean Chemerinsky. Good morning to our esteemed faculty and administrators, proud family members, partners, friends, and to the brilliant, resilient class of 2024. I'm so grateful to be here with you today and to have shared the last 3 years with you. So much has happened since we began this journey together. When we first crossed into the threshold of Berkeley Law, we were emerging from a global standstill, relearning the intricacies of human interaction, from deciphering a smile hidden behind a mask, are we friends? To reorienting ourselves to the physicality of a bustling campus. This reacclimation was more than just a return. It was a re-entry into a world still grappling with the echoes of isolation and loss. When I got into Berkeley, I was told, as I'm sure many of you were, that it's the most humane place to go to law school. That word, humane, struck me then and continues to stay with me today because we are so conditioned to think of law school, and by extension, the law, as so devoid of humanity. But I've come to appreciate that Berkeley is an outlier. Here we don't give ivory tower energy. Instead, our classmates organize and win basketball games. They're not matches, to raise funding for public interest grants, and we meet up to review for the bar on Thursdays. This sense of humanity and lightness imbues not just the ways in which we treat each other, but also how we approach the law. The law, as our professors have helped us to understand it, isn't just about statutes and precedents. It's about answering the hard-hitting questions, like, is a fish an object? Beyond these questions, sometimes puzzling, sometimes deceptively straightforward, at Berkeley we have learned that the law is about the people and the lives intertwined with every letter of it. People like Javed Iqbal, whose stories were lost to the doctrinal rules that bear their names. As Professor Brott would remind us, the law is not a brooding omnipresence in the sky. From slips to clinics, we've seen firsthand how the law intersects with the hard graft of life, shaping and reshaping narratives of justice. If news is the first page of history, then the cases we argue and the law we craft can be the blueprint for our future. As a parent, I worry constantly about the kind of future we are writing for our children. While at Berkeley, we've confronted the elusive challenge of balancing the weight of academic rigor while grappling with the heaviness of a world in turmoil. We found ourselves torn between the immediacy of global suffering and the necessity of immersing ourselves in the minutiae of rules. This sense of balance, though intangible, is perhaps the most crucial tool we're taking with us as we step into an election year marked by uncertainty and unparalleled challenges to democracy itself. In times like these, I remain especially grateful for the spirit of our class. Together and individually, we've not looked away from hardship. Instead, we've met it with resolve and the relentless pursuit of solutions, embodying the very essence of zealous advocacy. Through this education, We confronted what happens when the law strays from its foundational principles. We've dissected cases where justice seemed more like an abstract concept than a tangible outcome, illuminating the fragility of rights in the face of unchecked power. And this Supreme Court has taught us what happens with unchecked power. In just 3 years, we've seen the court overturn Roe and reject the importance of diversity on college campuses. We've seen how the obsession with original meaning displaces people's rights in the here and now, how isms become dogmas, and how dogmas and political agenda masquerade as doctrine. When factionalism, fear, and othering replace collaboration and empathy, it's only natural for our trust in these institutions to erode. In the face of this embattled legal landscape, beset as it is with isms, it would be easy to answer Justice Sotomayor's call to action that we don't have the luxury of despair with an exasperated, but how? Time and again, the amazing professors who have guided us to this moment have given us a framework for action. Approach our work with humility, embrace a diversity of thought and identity, listen intently, and always be willing to challenge prevailing norms and assumptions. Then we can start the work of pushing back against the static, against the isms. I have faith that as graduates of Berkeley, we will shape the course of the law, defend the rights of the marginalized and less privileged. The only question is when. But we're patient. We waited over a semester for bathrooms. And we may see that door when we come back to visit in 10 years. We may be patient, but all the while, we are relentless. Through it all, my hope for us is that we remember the importance of nurturing ourselves and each other, understanding that our well-being is intertwined with our capacity to affect change. This is no small thing. Indeed, few times in our history has it been more vital to engage the challenges we face with courage, integrity, and a steadfast commitment to one another. I'm grateful that we've studied at the type of place where success is not measured solely by personal achievement, by our clerkships and accolades, but by our call to service and the relationships we forged. And finally, each step we took along this journey was buoyed by the faith of someone in our corner, be it a mentor who saw potential we hadn't yet realized, a friend who talked through thorny questions late at night, a teacher who challenged us to think deeper, or even an exasperated family member who, in moments of doubt, reminded us of the strength we carry within. Here's to the constellation of believers in our lives who lit the path to this moment. This moment belongs to all of you. To you, our heartfelt gratitude, and to all of us, cheers.